June 10th, Board of Commissioners meeting to order. Tonight, we have Minju Kim leading the Pledge of Allegiance for us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Ms. Logan, would you please do the roll call?
Rebecca Moody, Vice President.
Here.
Denise Hall, Commissioner.
Here.
Liz McNaney, Commissioner.
Here.
Sandra Zadell, Township Manager.
Here.
Megan Weaver, Assistant Township Manager.
Here.
Lauren Gallagher, Township Solicitor.
Here.
Nicholas Cross, Township Engineer.
Here.
David Duffy, Chief of Police. Here. Van Reeker, Zoning Officer.
Here.
And it is noted that Commissioner Mull and Nathan Crittenden, our Finance Director, are absent, and Catherine Carter will be joining us soon.
Thank you. Yeah, okay. Okay, so we plan on recognizing Minju Kim for 5 years of service, and I believe Commissioner Hall will be talking about that.
Yes, I will be. Officer Kim served with distinction for 5 years as a member of the SEPTA Police Department before joining Upper Gwynedd Police Department. In addition to his duties as a patrol officer, Officer Kim is a member of the County Major Incident Response Team and serves as one of 2 department public information officers. He is one of the department's response resistance instructors. Officer Kim was selected by his peers as a 2020 Officer of the Year. He earned 2 Medals of Valor and is the recipient of numerous letters of commendation. When he is not performing his many important duties at Upper Gwynedd Police Department, Officer Kim travels to and from learning about several different countries, bringing his knowledge and experience back to our community. We look forward to many, many more years of service from Officer Kim. Congratulations, Officer Kim.
Okay, next, Chief, I think you're up.
I am. This working okay? I got it? No. How about now? Okay, there we go. Great. Just one more quick comment about Officer Kim. Minju is one of the officers, one of several officers who, whenever he can, does not like to turn cases over to detectives. He takes complicated investigations all the way. He's very experienced with search warrants, and really takes it to heart when he gets something he grabs onto and wants to get the bad guy, and he succeeds quite often. So thank you, Minju. First, I have a commendation for Ms. Sally Glassman and the Kindle Hill Foundation. If you could come up, please. Come on up. So your job is to stand here awkwardly while I read this. Is that okay? Okay. And the first part sounds good. It's because it's from your website, and I basically cut and paste. Okay. Whereas the Kindle Hill Foundation is a nonprofit organization located in Bluebell, the foundation provides discounted and pre-funded mental health services to a variety of clients, including first responders, teachers, adolescents, and other individuals seeking improved mental health. The First Responder Equine Assisted Training Program focuses on 2 critical goals of developing advanced de-escalation, negotiation, and partnering skills, as well as techniques for managing stress, anxiety, and other demands of the first responder culture. Kindle Hill Foundation is the only facility in the country which offers equine-assisted training for law enforcement. Whereas Kindle Hill's president and director, Sally Glassman, has worked with numerous police officers in Montgomery County and beyond, including Upper Gwynedd police officers, to help them better handle stressful situations. In April and May of 2024, Sally and her talented group of volunteers provided equine-assisted de-escalation and related training to every officer in the Upper Gwynedd Police Department. The feedback from our officers was very positive. The training was unique, relevant, and very informative. It was also fun and served as a great team-building experience. The training was delivered at no cost to the township. And I think there was only 1 bite and 1 kick.
Well,
Well, the bite was just kind of a graze, and the kid luckily sort of hit the belt.
Yeah,
Oh,
I blame the officer.
He survived.
I think the horses are innocent in this.
Yeah, totally.
Therefore, the Kindle Hill Foundation and Sally Glassman are recognized and commended for generously sharing their skills and providing training for Upper Gwynedd police officers that will help us in the performance of our duties to our community, as well as personally help each officer with stress management.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. Okay, thank you. I just want to let everyone know what a great pleasure it was to work with the Upper Gwynedd Police Department. It was an amazing group of people. They came with their A game, very enthusiastic. They could take a joke, and we had a lot of fun. My whole team said, we love this agency, and we want to have you back whenever you would like to be with us. So thank you for the opportunity. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I would like to comment that I enjoyed the pictures from that training more than I've enjoyed any other pictures of the police department. It was amazing. I'm so glad you guys were able to do that.
That's pretty cool.
Thank you.
I'd like to call up Mr. Sheikh Anwar M. Mohammed, please. I got this spelling right, if I mispronounced it, my bad.
Oh, yes, sir.
We got your full name throughout, but I'm just going to say Sheikh Anwar.
Yes, sir.
Is that okay? All right, just want to make sure I got it right. Okay, this is a commendation for Mr. Sheikh Anwar Mohammed. He was a longtime resident of the North Penn area, owner of the Black Reserve Bookstore in Lansdale, author, public speaker, community event coordinator, and a proud family man and father. He has twice been named as president of the Ambler branch of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, the NAACP. The NAACP is the oldest civil rights organization in the United States. Their mission and goals include and are not limited to promoting and ensuring political, social, and economic equality for all persons, eliminating race-based discrimination. Whereas as a person of integrity and an effective and gifted communicator and listener, community members, especially area youth, share experiences and seek advice from Sheikh on a variety of issues important to the region, schools, and the individuals themselves. Among his many outreach endeavors, Sheikh Anwar has created and maintained open lines of communication with area police departments and their chiefs on topics of mutual concern. Sheikh Anwar A.M. Mohammed is never afraid to have difficult conversations. He encourages them. Whether or not the parties end up reaching consensus on an issue, Sheikh Anwar makes sure that all sides have been heard and any remaining disagreements that may exist are understood and mutually respected. Whereas recent examples of Sheikh Anwar Mohammed's efforts include inviting all Montgomery County NAACP branch leaders to meet with county police chiefs. He also led the re-signing of the Memorandum of Understanding between the NAACP Ambler branch and its area police chiefs to reaffirm our commitment to open communication, candor, and the betterment of our communities. This isn't in the whereas, but I just have to say, most of the time we meet with Sheikh, we're in uniform, my fellow police chiefs, and we try to look in uniform. We can never look as dapper, as squared away as Sheikh Anwar, as much as we try. Therefore, Sheikh Anwar A.M. Mohammed is recognized and commended for helping the members of the Upper Gwynedd Police Department fulfill our mission through his advocacy, outreach, and leadership in our community, especially through his ability to communicate and facilitate communication between people about challenging topics and issues.
Thank you. No pressure, no pressure, no pressure. So thank you, commissioners. Thank you, Chief Duffy. Came into contact, like he said, my first go around with the NAACP as president was a while ago, I think like 2020. There were some things that we wanted to improve on, especially community policing. The incident with the George Floyd thing like spiraled everything. And we wanted to make sure we were on the plus side of things and not like fighting against the current. So the secret is now out. By day, the mild-mannered bookstore owner, he just found out that I fight crime at night under the name of the Black Panther of Lansdale and surrounding areas. So the secret is now out. So no, this is an honor. So I don't do it for this, but it's nice to get to get rewarded and things for that. So I definitely appreciate it. Was definitely unsuspecting. Sent me a message and asked me. I said, absolutely, I can be there. But no, I look forward to working more with your police department. It's fantastic. All the outside events, community events, everything I do, they're always there, always received warmly. They're not just there as like wallpaper, like they're really involved and in the mix. That's a tribute to their leadership and you guys. So no, they're doing a great job. The conversations, not scared to do anything and to go out there. The whole thing is an effort to bridge the community and the police, right? We don't have to be, it doesn't have to be negative or shouldn't be negative, right? For anyone who resides here. So that is definitely the mission. I think we are doing a great job. I like to view this area as, I want us to be the standard of this work. So I think we are moving in that direction and I could not get off this microphone without thanking my wife and my son. While I'm out fighting crime, she holds down the fort. So no, thank you, I appreciate you. Thank you, Chief Duffy. And you guys have a great evening. Thank you.
Chief, are you going to lead the next item too? Oh, okay. Well, Commissioner Hull looks ready to go. On the spot, Commissioner Hull, you ready? Okay. Well, while Commissioner Hull is getting that information, Megan is going to put up some photos for us to enjoy.
Upper Gwynedd Township was saddened to hear from friends and family members of the passing of former Police Chief William Err. Chief Err was one of the 5 previous police chiefs since the department started in 1951. Many current and past former township employees, civil service, and township commissioners, community members, and others throughout Upper Gwynedd knew and respected William Err and his dedication to his duties in the township. Chief William Bill Err died quietly in his home in Allen, Texas on May 28, 2024. His wife of 67 years, Jacqueline, was at his side. Bill was born in Philadelphia in 1933. He grew up in Upper Gwynedd and attended West Point School and graduated from Lansdale High School. He enlisted in the Air Force in 1951 and served in the Air Police guarding Strategic Air Command aircraft in Newfoundland, Canada. He was selected for special duty as part of the Air Force Security Detail assigned to President Eisenhower's summer White House and was transferred to Colorado. After the Air Force, Bill joined Upper Gwynedd Police Department as a part-time patrolman in 1956. Over the years, he rose through the ranks and graduated from the FBI National Academy in June of 1971. Bill was promoted to chief in 1979 and served in that capacity until his retirement in 1993. He was active in the North Penn United Way, served as an adjunct faculty member of the Montgomery County Community College, was on the board of directors of the North Penn Volunteer Medical Service Corps, and was president of the Police Chiefs Association of Montgomery County. Chief Err was known for substantially improving the services provided by the Upper Gwynedd Police Department to our community, especially through training of officers in technical skills and leadership. Chief Err initiated badge number assignments and was the first to hold badge number 1. Chief David Duffy was honored to correspond with and personally speak with Chief Err over the years. Chief Err's love of the job and the time he served in Upper Gwynedd was clearly expressed, and he shared many great stories and interesting history. Chief Err generously gave permission to Chief Duffy to use Badge 1, the only badge number ever reissued in the history of the police department. Chief Err's professionalism and his service to Upper Gwynedd Township will not be forgotten, and current and past members of the police department remain grateful for the positive impact he had on our community. Chief Err is survived by his wife, 3 children, 6 grandchildren, and 4 great-grandchildren. A funeral mass will be offered at 10 a.m. on June 17th at St. Jude's Catholic Church, Allen, Texas. Interment will follow at the Dallas-Fort Worth National Ceremony. And now, if you could all join me in a moment of silence. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Hall. Ms. Gallagher, were there any executive sessions?
Yes, the board met in executive session earlier this evening to discuss matters of potential litigation, collective bargaining matters, and personnel.
Thank you. All right, next we have public comments. I don't have anyone signed up. Is there anyone in the audience that didn't get a chance to sign up that wants to make a public comment? Okay, moving on. I will now turn the meeting over to Township Solicitor Lauren Gallagher for the public hearing ordinance 2024-02.
Thank you, Commissioner Moody. This ordinance that is in front of the board this evening has been the topic of conversation at the last couple of meetings, so this should be familiar for everyone. This is ordinance 2024-02, which would modify Chapter 165, Section 31, with regard to street restoration after trench work. It would require, when there's utility construction in a travel lane of a roadway, that the trench be restored from the curb to the midline of the road rather than just over where the trench was cut. And that requires a 1 1/2 inch mill and overlay of the wearing course. This ordinance has been advertised on May 28th, 2024, and is ready for the board's consideration this evening.
Thank you. Are there any public comments related to this hearing? Okay, seeing none. Do I need to make a motion to close the public hearing? All right, at this point, we're going to close the public hearing. And I'd like to make a motion to approve ordinance 2024-02. I have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Any public comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Moving on to the departmental reports. Up first, we have Planning and Zoning with Van Reeker.
Good evening, everyone. Report on basically past applications. We only have one new hearing. Sorry? Oh, it's on. Usually when they run the other way. Can you hear me now? Okay. Okay. So 1327 East Prospect. I want to draw an arrow down to the next to the last bullet. There's also 1327 East Prospect. You might remember they had filed for a 2-lot subdivision. It was determined that they needed a variance relative to lot width. The Planning Commission tabled action on this application until they went to the zoning hearing. Zoning hearing saw this application last month. It was approved. Now they're back before the Planning Commission in 2 days for consideration of a 2-lot minor subdivision. Questions on that one? It's over on the East Prospect. It would be a flag lot, large flag lot of about 2 acres behind an existing house. Second, 761 Shearer Street was a zoning hearing application that was denied. There aren't many, but this resulted in a lot of neighbor interest. And it was resolved by the zoning hearing board that the request for a 2-story, 3-car garage was, I guess you could say, somewhat invasive relative to what is normally seen for dimensional variances. It was denied. Questions on that one? Now they can resubmit with a new plan. I'm told that they intend to on a by right basis, which means they won't need zoning relief. Okay. The next one, 203 Church Road, we might have mentioned this at the latter part of last meeting. This was, not to prolong it, a special exception on behalf of the school district bus transportation center. For anyone who hasn't heard of this yet, it was withdrawn by the applicant. Will not be going forward. It will not be heard. 837 Collins, in-law suite variance granted. 971 Patriot, non-conforming lot expansion of a roof over a patio, which was non-conforming relative to rear yard, granted. 986 Summitown Pike, formerly North Penn Car Wash, now it's Sparkle Auto Wash. New owners would like to receive approval to construct a roof over a payment kiosk to facilitate customer access. That was granted. We talked about 1327, 887 Quinn Lane. That is a dimensional variance for another, actually, this says detached, but it was determined that it was attached. Because as it turns out, they want to have a roof breezeway connection. When that happens, we consider it to be an attached structure, so it's part of the principal building. That's a dimensional variance for side yard that will be heard in 2 weeks. Are there questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right, next, the engineering report with Nick Cross.
Thank you. Couple of things to touch on tonight. The first is the road program schedule. So layout and construction of the ADA ramps in the Stony Creek development have already begun, and they will continue until the week of the 17th, weather permitting. And once that's completed, paving within the development will begin, and the concrete work and the paving will follow thereafter in the other areas of the road program, namely Church Road and Amity Lane. For the Hartley Drive meadow and tree planting, there was a volunteer planting of a meadow and tree grove on township open space near the intersection of Hartley Drive and Broad Street. Took place from May 29th to the 31st. By reestablishing this area as a meadow with native flowering species, it'll promote infiltration of the stormwater into the ground, and will also reduce the speed at which the sheet and channelized flow will be flowing in that area. And also reduce the amount of chemical pollution from any type of fertilizer that's typically used in the landscaping of the area. This, along with the new tree grove, will help the township meet its MS4 requirements, which are always important. And it'll reduce the landscaping costs, and it'll provide, an aesthetically pleasing improvement to an otherwise unused open space. I wanted to just send a big thank you out to all the volunteers who helped with the planting. All 3 days, and then the Township Parks and Rec Department, Sarah and John were a great resource to help coordinate the work. And then finally, a big shout out to the Perkiomen and Watershed Conservancy who oversaw the project and helped make sure that everything got completed and everything that was installed was native species, and they did a great job. So that was everything I have. And
Nick, I mean, you left out one of my favorite parts of the volunteerism in this project. Would you like to comment on how the volunteers saved us money, what our original budget for the project was, and what we think it will end up costing now?
yes, the original budget for the project was about $60,000, and I think in the end we'll end up spending just a few thousand, maybe 2 to 5 total. So, yeah.
That's awesome. That's huge.
Yeah, it was great. And shout out again to the Perkiomen Watershed Conservancy for helping us get that done for what we needed to.
That right
was a lot of
there
fun.
is the culture of excellence and also the value of partnerships.
I went out there myself and I planted some of the native plants, and it was a good time. It was a lot of fun out there. It was a beautiful day that we did. At least the 29th was. I don't know how the 30th and 31st were.
Thank you. All right, moving on to finance, personnel, and administration. Since President Carter isn't here, I will move forward with her section. Can I ask a motion for all of these at once?
Yes.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion to approve the staff department reports as detailed in our agenda below and on the screen up there. And I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Any public comments? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. All right, see, my numbers are different.
17.
I apologize. All right, my numbers are slightly off, so I apologize. Number 17, I'd like to make a motion to approve public meeting minutes of May 6th, 2024. And I have a motion. Do I have a second?
So moved.
Motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Any public comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Number 18, motion to approve. I'd like to make a motion to approve the public meeting minutes of May 13th, 2024. And I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Do you have any board comments? Any public comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Okay. Number 20. What was that?
Did you get the Juneteenth?
See, it's not on mine for some reason. Okay, no, I apologize. Thank you. Number 19, I'd like to make a motion to approve the proclamation of for Juneteenth. And before the motion is made, I'd like to read the proclamation. A proclamation recognizing June 19th as Juneteenth Day in Upper Gwynedd Township. Whereas our country is made up of people from every nation on earth who are declared equal, not only in freedom, but also in justice, both of which are essential for a healthy human civilization. And whereas our nation was conceived on July 4th, 1776, with the Declaration of Independence, the classic statement being, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And whereas at 2 p.m. on New Year's Day, January 1st, 1863, using his war powers as president, Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, providing that all persons held as slaves within any state or designated part of a state shall be thenceforward and forever free. The Emancipation Proclamation made the permanent abolition of slavery a Union war aim and provided the legal framework for the emancipation of nearly all 4 million slaves as the Union armies advanced. Hearing of the proclamation, many slaves escaped to Union lines as the Army units moved south. And whereas on June 19th, 1865, almost 2.5 years later, Major General Gordon Granger arrived in Galveston, Texas, and announced the end of both the Civil War and slavery. His announcement reads, "The people of Texas are informed that in accordance with the proclamation from the Executive of the United States, all slaves are free. This involves an absolute equality of personal rights and rights of property between former masters and slaves, and the connection heretofore existing between them becomes that between employer and hired labor. The freedmen are advised to remain at their present homes and work for wages. They are informed that they will not be allowed to collect at military posts, and they will not be supported in idleness either there or elsewhere. And whereas Texans began the celebration of Juneteenth in 1866 with community events such as parades, cookouts, prayer gatherings, musical performances, and historical cultural readings. Some communities purchased land for Juneteenth celebrations, such as Emancipation Park in Houston, Texas. As freed families emigrated from Texas to other parts of the United States, they carried the Juneteenth celebration with them. And whereas Al Edwards, a freshman state representative, put forward the bill HB 1016, making Texas the first state to grant this emancipation celebration. And whereas on January 1st, 1980, Juneteenth became an official Texas state holiday. Since then, 48 other states and the District of Columbia have also declared it an official holiday. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners hereby proclaim June 19th as Juneteenth in Upper Gwynedd Township. Proclaim this 10th day of June 2024. Thank you. I'd like to make a motion to approve number 19, Juneteenth, sorry, I don't have it on my agenda, proclamation for Juneteenth. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. Are there any board comments? Any public comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Deanna, let the record note that President Carter entered at 7:30 PM and is present now.
Thank you.
Commissioner Carter, you have
Item 20.
2 items left. I am happy to move on with them if you'd like.
You can continue.
Okay.
Thank you.
Number 20, Shipsy Electric, our electrical contractor for the building renovations, has applied for their 6th payment. I'd like to make a motion to approve payment number 6 to Shipsy Electric in the amount of $12,321.68. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Are there any board comments? Any public comments? All in favor?
It's a roll call.
Oh, I apologize.
Okay.
Deanna, would you please perform the roll call?
President Carter,
Aye.
Vice President Moody,
Aye.
Commissioner Hall,
Aye.
Commissioner McNaney,
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Number 21, SB Conrad, a contractor working on our building renovations, has applied for their 7th payment. I'd like to make a motion to approve their payment number 7 to SB Conrad in the amount of $12,397.70. Ms. Logan, would you please perform the roll call? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Any board comments? Public comments? Ms. Logan, would you please do the roll call?
President Carter,
Aye.
Vice President Moody,
Aye.
Commissioner Hall,
Aye.
Commissioner McNaney,
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Moving to the zoning, planning, and code enforcement section, which is my section. Number 22, Pennington Property Group submitted an application request for their escrow release number 3 for Weaver Court. RVE has certified that the work associated with the escrow release has been completed. So I'd like to make a motion to approve Pennington Property Group's escrow release number 3 in the amount of $122,000, $122,396. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
So moved.
The motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Any public comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. And number 23, I'd like to make a motion to approve the Merck waiver request for relief from Chapter 124-5 and 113-1 for after-hours construction to replace in-ground fire piping and mains. Have a motion. Do I have a second?
Moved.
I have a motion and a second. Are there any board comments? Any public comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. And I will now turn the meeting over to Commissioner Hall.
Thank you, Commissioner Moody. I have some exciting news, which is that our Police Department and Civil Service Board have determined a top candidate in their hiring process for a new police officer. I would like to make a motion to ratify the conditional offer of a candidate for the position of police officer.
So moved.
Sorry, I'll second.
The motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Any public comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I think the chief has a comment he'd like to make.
So you'll meet this this candidate in July. I'm excited for you to meet her. This particular process, we're part of a consortium, so I appreciate the board going through with this because this was a coup, basically. My fellow chiefs have all given me a lot of dirty looks over how quickly I got to the candidate list and did interviews and got a great candidate. So I'm very excited that she's coming up for Gwynedd. Not too many spoiler alerts, but when I was hired here, we did have a female police officer, Rachel DePiano, who worked for 18 years with the department. We now will have 3 female officers, so it's going to be exciting in July. Thank you.
For sure. And I also, before we moved on, I wanted to do a shout out to both our Park and Rec Department and our Upper Gwynedd Fire Department. As our engineer, Nick, was sharing with us with our Hartley Drive Meadowization project, they have been working the Park and Rec Department has been working with the volunteers very diligently on that process. And what they learned is that it takes 3 refills of our little watering truck and 3 hours of watering to get enough water to that project, something that our Park and Rec Department can't do every day until there's a stable root structure. So they pooled their resources and they continued our culture of excellence, and they reached out to the Upper Gwynedd Fire Department and they said, could you help us out with this? And Matt O'Brien and the entire Upper Gwynedd Fire Department said, sure, no problem, we got it. We'll take care of the watering for you. So I just wanted to do a shout out to Matt O'Brien and our Upper Gwynedd Fire Department, as well as to Sarah Priebus and the Park and Rec staff for continuing to find ways to collaborate and think outside the box to foster a culture of excellence in every task in which they engage. And since I just happened to bring up the Upper Gwynedd Fire Department, I just wanted to mention that they are holding their 4th annual golf outing at Cedarbrook Country Club on July 15th. So please check out their Facebook page or their website to find out how you can participate in that event or even be a sponsor. Remember that these very important first responders risk their lives to protect us every day, and everything they do is completely volunteer. This is the perfect way to support them. Thank you, Commissioner Moody.
Thank you. And I believe President Carter will take the Public Works, Parks, and Recreation section.
Thank you. Sorry for being tardy. It's the end of the year for my Board of Trustees duties over at Montgomery County Community College, so I do apologize. Public Works, Parks, and Recreation section. I'd like to make a motion to approve Resolution 19-2024, piggybacking with Gwynedd Township for the microsurfacing of the township roads. Do I have a second?
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. Any board comments? Any public comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. I'd like to make a motion for the sale of the 2000 Ford box truck on municipal bid in the amount of $1,550. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any board comments? Any public comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. I'd like to make a motion to approve the purchase of a Cheetah SCAG 61 ZTR mower from Paul B. Moyer and Sons in the amount of $12,599.20. We have a motion. Do I have a second?
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. Any board comments? Any public comments? Deanna, would you do a roll call, please?
President Carter,
Aye.
Vice President Moody,
Aye.
Commissioner Hall,
Aye.
Commissioner McNaney.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. I'd like to make a motion to approve the purchase of a 2024 Toro Dingo TX 1300 bucket mini skid steer from Earth Bomb Trucks in the amount of $50,704.85. Do I have a second?
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. Any board comments? Any public comments? Deanna, could you do a roll call, please?
President Carter,
Aye.
Vice President Moody,
Aye.
Commissioner Hall,
Aye.
Commissioner McNaney.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. I'd like to make a motion to approve Resolution 20-2024, authorizing the submission of the grant closeout to DCNR for the Haynes Run hydrologic and hydraulic analysis. Do I have a second?
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. Any board comments? Any public comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Now on to the wastewater treatment. Number 30, I'd like to make a motion to approve payment number 1 to the Blooming Glen contractors for the Merck Pump Station bypass in the amount of $22,633.12. Do I have a second?
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. Any board comments? Any public comments? Deanna, could you do a roll call?
President Carter,
Aye.
Vice President Moody,
Aye.
Commissioner Hall,
Aye.
Commissioner McNaney.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. I'd like to make a motion to approve the contract with Municipal Maintenance Company, Inc. for the Merck bypass pumping in the amount of $130,740.82. Do I have a second?
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. Any board comments? Any public comments? Deanna, could you do a roll call?
President Carter,
Aye.
Vice President Moody,
Aye.
Commissioner Hall,
Aye.
Commissioner McNaney.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. I'd like to make a motion to approve the June 2024 open invoices. Do I have a second?
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. Any board comments? Any public comments? Deanna, could you do a roll call?
President Carter,
Aye.
Vice President Moody,
Aye.
Commissioner Hall,
Aye.
Commissioner McNaney.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Number 33, I'd like to make a motion to approve the June 2024 paid invoices. Do I have a second?
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. Any board comments? Any public comments? Deanna, could you do a roll call?
President Carter,
Aye.
Vice President Moody,
Aye.
Commissioner Hall,
Aye.
Commissioner McNaney.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Or President Carter, before we adjourn,
I'm not done yet.
okay.
I'd like to just remind everyone about the Unplugged Week. Megan? Thank you. We have a full schedule from the Parks and Recreation Department beginning on Monday with the 9:15 Princess Meet and Greet, managers, and muffins at 10.
There might be a dog there.
Oh, we have a Get Moving Monday at 5:30 and puzzle games with the park board at 7 o'clock. We even have a family bike ride on Tuesday evening at 6:30. We have rock painting with the HRC. We have a talent show at 11 o'clock. We have coffee with a cop Tuesday morning at 9:30. Wednesday morning, we have crafting with the commissioners. And we even have a 10:30 wastewater Wednesday, and they're going to do a tour of the wastewater treatment plant. You know, everything's on the Park and Rec website. It looks like a lot of fun. They went through a lot of trouble. We always have a large turnout, so please come out. I'm looking forward to the family fire safety. They're having a pickleball demo, a story time, a scavenger hunt, dancing and desserts. They're having a wastewater zero compact. So, they're having a family yoga.
It's a lot of good stuff.
A lot of good stuff. So please come out and enjoy all of the Unplugged Week, and it ends with Movie in the Park. And I can't remember what the movie is, but it ends with the Movie in the Park. So we're going to begin with the Princess Meet and Greet and end with the Movie in the Park.
May I add to the comments that Commissioner Hull made earlier about the culture of excellence and everyone working together. You can see even on this schedule that every department is included.
Yeah, I
The
saw
police
the
are
finance.
included, the managers, finance, wastewater. Literally, Park and Rec pulls everyone into it, and everyone has so much fun. I was shocked that anyone showed up for Muffins with the Manager last year because I thought, ooh, this doesn't sound too exciting. Megan and I tried to make it cool, but there were actually people there, and we welcome you to come to all of these events.
And all the events, if you look at the schedule, this is just giving you a demonstration, but if you look on the website, you'll notice that it's all over the township. So it's not, everything is not just at the pavilion. They're at Garfield Park, they're at all different areas of the park, like I said, the wastewater treatment plant. So bring your kids out, bring your family out and enjoy.
Is this the third year that we're doing this?
Yep, the third year.
It's just amazing how this has exploded and how Park and Rec has really, I mean, when I saw the schedule, I cannot believe how it's expanded in 3 years.
And I was trying to put it all on my calendar. Couldn't fit everything because you got to make sure you put where they're having it, because that's when I noticed that they weren't having everything at the township. So you got to make sure you pay attention. Thank you, Megan. Commissioner McNaney?
I have a question for Sandra. And when people start working on Sundays, I read a comment on Facebook, when they start working on Sundays at 7:30 a.m., what should residents do? Because our ordinance that's on the website says 9 o'clock a.m. on Sundays. So if that happens, especially on a Sunday, what are residents to do?
They can dial 911 for the police department, and the police will handle the issue. Obviously, the police are not the code enforcement police, but they'll at least take a record of the call, and then we'll have proof that the action was happening, and our code enforcement officer will follow up. Did I answer that correctly, Chief? Okay, great.
And I just had one other thing that helped me a lot. We put out a mailer of the map of the township,
Yes.
and we had a lot of businesses within the township advertised in it, so that covered the cost of the map. And I understand it was Commissioner Hull's idea for that, part of that?
Well, the
maps?
redo, I mean, we had done it previously, I think,
What came up back
2016,
then?
2018. So it was
Okay.
really like a redo. No offense.
I think it was wonderful. It helped me find a new dentist. So I appreciate that map. And I've gotten a lot of feedback from residents about that publication that we sent out. So kudos to whoever was behind that. Well
That was
done.
Deanna that did all the work for that. So
Well
we
done,
should give her
Deanna.
some public praise.
Yes.
I definitely
That's all
enjoyed
I had.
getting it. I was very excited to receive it in the mail. Thank you, everyone, for coming out, and have a good evening.